I lit the match and watched the flames dance across the faded family photo. The one where we all smiled like we weren't rotting from the inside. 8 years ago, that same photo had been my anchor. Now, it was just kindling for the bonfire I'd built on the beach, right where the resort's foundation would rise. Mom's face smiling. Perfect. Poisonous, curled and blackened first, her eyes melting into accusatory voids that stared back at me even in death's preview. I'd always known revenge tasted like salt and ash, but nothing prepared me for how sweet the smoke would smell when it finally carried her secrets out to sea. It started with a lie so big it swallowed my life whole. Back in 2017, I was 25, fresh out of community college in Tampa, hustling as a line cook at a dive bar on Clearwater Beach while dreaming of something bigger. Our family wasn't rich. Dad split when I was 10, leaving Mom to scrape by as a real estate agent in the suburbs, peddling overpriced condos to retirees who smelled like Benghazi and regret. She had 3 kids, me, the eldest, Sarah, my sister, 2 years younger and already climbing the ladder at a boutique law firm, and Tommy, the baby, 19 and aimless, crashing on couches and dealing weed on the side to fund his music career. Mom was the glue, or so we thought. Charismatic, with that southern drawl sharpened by years in Florida's cutthroat market, she could sell ice to Eskimos or sand to beach bums. But underneath, she was a vault of secrets, locked tight with greed. It came out during a routine audit at her firm. Embezzlement, hundreds of thousands siphoned from escrow accounts, funneled into offshore shells to cover gambling debts from Atlantic City weekends she swore were girls' trips. The feds were closing in. And Mom? She panicked like a cornered gator. That's when she turned to me. "Jack," she said over lukewarm coffee in our cramped kitchen, her eyes wet with crocodile tears. "You're the only one I trust. Sarah's too ambitious. She'll crack under pressure. Tommy's a mess. But you're steady. Just sign this. It's a loan, baby. We'll pay it back." The papers were a shell company transfer, making me the fall guy for the laundering. I didn't know then. I was blind with loyalty. The son who fixed her leaks and forgave her rages. I signed, thinking I was saving the family. 2 weeks later, the cuffs clicked on my wrists in the middle of dinner rush at the bar. "Jack Harlan, you're under arrest for wire fraud and money laundering." The cops dragged me out past stunned coworkers. Mom watching from the parking lot with Sarah and Tommy, her face a mask of feigned horror. I screamed her name, but she just shook her head, mouthing "I'm sorry" like it meant shit. The trial was a circus. My public defender painted me as the black sheep, the cook with sticky fingers, while Mom testified as the grieving mother betrayed by her own blood. Sarah's firm handled the prosecution's overflow, burying evidence of Mom's prints on the accounts. Tommy? He sold dime bags to the jurors' kids for extra cash, whispering doubts in dive bars. Guilty. 5 years in federal lockup at FCI Coleman, a concrete hellhole in the swamps where men like me learned that trust is a shank waiting to happen. I got out in 3 for good behavior, but the real sentence was the exile. Family? Vanished. Mom sold the house, pocketed the equity, and moved to a gated community in Sarasota with Sarah, who was now a junior partner. Tommy crashed with dealers in Orlando, high on his own supply. No letters, no visits, just a single postcard from Mom after year 1. We had to move on. Jack. For the best. For who's best? Parole meant starting over in a halfway house in St. Pete. Flipping burgers for minimum wage while dodging sex offender stares, yeah. The registry lumped fraud with the worst of them, thanks to some bureaucratic fuck-up Sarah probably greased. But rage is a hell of a motivator. I enrolled in night classes at USF, got my associates in hospitality management, then hustled into hotel ops. By year 5 out, I was assistant manager at a mid-tier chain on the Gulf, schmoozing snowbirds and pocketing tips like shrapnel. Year 6, general manager. Year 7, I launched a side gig, flipping distressed properties in the Keys, riding the post-pandemic boom on remote work cash. That's how I found Paradise Point, a crumbling beachfront relic in Marathon, Key West County, 80 acres of white sand, derelict bungalows, and a main lodge that hadn't seen a guest since Hurricane Irma shredded it in 17. Foreclosed, auctioned cheap to some Miami developers who tanked on permits. I scraped every dime from my savings, took a second mortgage on my shitty apartment, and went all in. $2 million out of pocket. Leveraged to hell. Closing day. I stood on the dock as the sun dipped into the turquoise, the salt wind whipping my face, and whispered, "This is for you. You bitches." Renovation was war. I lived in a trailer on site, barking orders at migrant crews under floodlights, sourcing reclaimed teak from salvaged yachts for the bar, installing solar arrays to thumb my nose at big oil. By month 12, Paradise Point reopened, 20 eco-luxe bungalows, infinity pool overlooking the Atlantic, a farm-to-table restaurant slinging conch fritters and craft IPAs. Reviews poured in, 5 stars on Yelp. Features in Travel Plus Leisure. Bookings tripled overnight. Celebs like that TikTok influencer from Miami started flocking down for off-grid resets. Revenue hit 7 figures in year 1. I was Jack Harlan, resort king, untouchable. Or so I thought. Until the email pinged on a Tuesday in June, as I sipped black coffee on the veranda, watching dolphins breach at dawn. Subject: proud of you, son. From mom. 8 years silent. And now this. Heard about your success from an old client. Paradise Point sounds magical. Tommy's in rehab again. Sarah's buried in work. Could we visit? Maybe stay a spell? Love. Mom. My gut twisted like a riptide. Visit? After framing me, testifying against me, erasing me, the old Jack would have caved, desperate for scraps. But this Jack? I stared at the screen, the cursor blinking like a dare. Revenge wasn't a bonfire, it was a slow burn, the kind that chars from the inside out. I typed back. Doors open to guests. Book a room like everyone else. Send. Then I forwarded it to my lawyer. The shark who'd handled my wrongful conviction suit settled out of court for peanuts, but enough to seed this empire. That night, I dreamed of the trial again, Mom on the stand, her voice cracking as she lied. He was always jealous. Your Honor. Of his sister. Of me. Woke up sweating. The photo album from storage splayed open on the floor. Flipping through, I found the hidden Polaroid tucked in the back. Mom and her bookie. Time-stamped the week before my arrest. Proof. The secret she'd buried. The one I'd carried like a millstone. Time to dig it up. The next morning, I called in favors. Hired a PI out of Key Largo. A grizzled ex-cop named Ruiz who owed me from a bar fight I'd pulled him out of. Dig deep, I said. Everything finances. Calls. Dirt. By week's end, the dossier landed. Mom's gambling had escalated. She'd burned through the embezzled cash. Now scraping by on Sarah's handouts. Tommy? Fresh out of his 4th stint, ODing on fentanyl-laced coke. Sarah, married to a pharma exec,
2 kids.
but whispers of an affair with her firm's senior partner. The family fortress was cracking, and Mom wanted my beach as her lifeboat. I could have ghosted her. But no, that's mercy. And mercy's for suckers. Instead, I replied, comp room for family. Arrive Friday. We'll talk. It was the hook, baited with nostalgia. As I prepped the staff, extra mimosas at brunch. A welcome home luau. I felt the tension coil like a spring. This wasn't hospitality, it was homecoming for the damned. And when they stepped off that puddle jumper from Sarasota, I'd make sure they remembered why hell has no vacancy sign. The airstrip hummed with prop wash as the Cessna taxied in, kicking up sand devils that swirled like ghosts. I waited in the resort's courtesy jeep, engine idling, AC blasting against the humid assault. First out was Sarah, all power suit and Louboutins, hauling a Louis Vuitton weekender like it was armor. She scanned the horizon, lips pursed, then spotted me and froze, those lawyer eyes calculating escape vectors. Tommy stumbled next, gaunt and twitchy, Ray-Bans hiding bloodshot whites, a duffel slung over one shoulder like a noose. And then Mom, last as always, the queen deigning to descend. She looked smaller than I remembered, silver threading her bob, but the smile was the same, weaponized warmth. Jackie, she trilled, arms wide, heels sinking into the gravel. I stepped out, forcing a grin that didn't reach my eyes. Hugs were exchanged, Sarah's stiff, Tommy's limp, Mom's a vice grip that smelled of Chanel No. 5 and desperation. This place. It's a miracle, she breathed, eyes raking the palm-lined drive to the ocean. You did this? All by yourself. Mostly, I said, loading their bags. The drive was silent torture, waves crashing like accusations, the radio murmuring Jimmy Buffett to fill the void. Dropping them at the Orchid Suite, oceanfront, king bed, private plunge pool, I handed over keys. Settle in. Dinner at 7. My treat. We catch up. Sarah lingered, adjusting her sunglasses. Look, Jack, this is generous. But let's keep it light. Okay? Water under the bridge. Her voice was silk over steel, the same tone she'd used in depositions to gut me. I nodded, biting back the urge to laugh. Water under the bridge?
Nah.
This bridge was mine now, and I was about to blow the charges. As they vanished into the suite, I radioed Ruiz, eyes on. Every move. The game was afoot, and for the first time in 8 years, I held the board. Dinner was a masterclass in passive aggression, served family style under string lights on the veranda, the gulf of black mirror reflecting our fractured silhouettes. I ordered the full spread, stone crab claws dripping butter, key lime pie tart enough to pucker souls, and a magnum of Veuve chilling in an ice bucket like a guillotine's edge. The staff hovered like sentinels, discreet, efficient. Mine, while Mom cooed over the ambience. Sarah picked at her salad with fork stabs that could have drawn blood, and Tommy shoveled food like it was his last meal. To new beginnings, I toasted, clinking glasses with a chime that echoed too sharp. Mom's eyes misted. She squeezed my hand under the table, her rings cold against my skin.
Oh.
Jackie, I've missed this. Us. The word landed like a gut punch, dredging up Thanksgivings where she'd burn the turkey, then blame Dad's ghost. Christmases where gifts came wrapped in IOUs. Sarah cleared her throat, launching into lawyer speak about my impressive turnaround, metrics and projections that screamed due diligence. Tommy just grunted, eyes darting to the bar cart. Conversation flowed like molasses uphill, small talk about weather, humid as hell. My inspirational Yelp reviews. Tommy's gig DJing at a strip club in Orlando. Then Mom steered it, inevitable as tide. Jack. Honey. About back then. I was in shock. The police. The headlines, it broke me. But I fought for you. In my way.
Fought?
She testified I was troubled, cited my anger issues from Dad's abandonment. The jury ate it up. I ate 3 years. I swirled my wine, the Cabernet's legs bleeding down the glass like accusations. Fought how? Exactly? The table stilled. Sarah's fork paused midair, Tommy's Adam's apple bobbed. Mom faltered, then rallied. Prayers. Therapy for the family. We grieved.
Jack.
Like losing you to war. War. I echoed, chuckling low.
Yeah.
Felt like that. Locked in a cage with lifers who thought fraud meant I was some Wall Street wolf. Got shanked once for looking soft.
Lies.
Mostly. The shiv was a warning over a card game, but the flinch on her face was gold. Sarah jumped in. That's ancient history. We've all paid therapy bills. The scandal. Mom lost her license for a year. License, I said, leaning back. Funny. Mine's spotless now. Hospitality board cleared me post-appeal. The appeal I'd funded with blood money from odd jobs. The one that proved the signatures were forged but stopped short of implicating her. My gift. Or my curse. Tommy piped up. Voice raspy. Man, this place is sick. You hiring? I could sling drinks. Keep it chill. Hiring. The kid who'd ghosted my court dates. Now eyeing my bar for a fix. Maybe, I lied. Resume tomorrow. Dessert arrived. Pie slices glistening like false hope. Mom speared hers. Then dropped the bomb. Jackie.
Truth is.
We're struggling. Sarah's divorce. Separation. Sarah snapped. Cheeks flushing. It's messy. Alimony.
Custody.
Tommy's program costs a fortune. And me? Social Security won't cut it since the market dipped. Her eyes. Wide and wounded. The same puppy dog plea that reeled me into signing those papers. We thought. Maybe a loan? Or a bungalow? Long-term? Family discount. There it was. Naked and raw. The ask. 8 years of radio silence. And now they wanted my empire as a safety net. Rage bubbled. Hot and familiar. But I banked it. Smiling slow. Family discount.
Cute.
Tell you what, stay the week. On the house. But Saturday. We do a deep dive.
Books.
Stories. The whole 9. No more bridges. We build a pier. They bought it. Relief washing over like a bomb. Hugs goodbye, Tommy's backslap reeking of weed. Sarah's air kiss perfunctory. Mom's lingering too long. Whispering, I knew you'd forgive. Forgiveness? That died in Coleman. Cell block C. Back in my bungalow. I cracked the PI's update. Wiretaps catching Sarah badmouthing me to her almost ex. Jack's always been dramatic, probably bitter about the trial. Tommy scoring blow from a guest's yacht. Mom rifling through desk drawers in the suite for loose change. Amateurs. I forwarded to my security chief. A ex-Marine named Diaz. Eyes wide. No incidents yet. Sleep evaded. Waves pounding like a heartbeat. Memories flooded. The bust. SWAT kicking in our door at 3 a.m. Mom cooperating from the neighbor's porch in her robe. The interrogation. Detectives dangling plea deals if I flipped on accomplices. Me. Loyal idiot. Stonewalling till they broke me with fabricated evidence. Sarah's cross-exam. Isn't it true, Mr. Harlan, that you resented your mother's success? Success built on my back. Then my bars. Dawn broke bloody. Sun bleeding over the horizon. I hit the gym, punching bag till knuckles split. Sweat stinging like truth. Ruiz called mid-set. Got a hit. Mom's bookie? Still active. Owes $50K to a crew in Tampa. Sharks with ties to your old cellmate. Rico. She's been dodging. But they know about the resort. Leverage. Leverage. The word hummed like electricity. By brunch, I was composed, greeting them poolside with fresh towels and Bloody Marys. Tommy cannonballed in. Splashing like a kid, Sarah scrolled emails under an umbrella, ignoring the world. Mom sidled up, bikini faded but fierce. Jackie, walk with me? We strolled the shore. Shells crunching underfoot, gulls wheeling overhead. She linked arms, nostalgic. Remember summers here? Before your dad. Before everything. Lies. We'd never afforded the keys. Those were her stories. Stolen from clients. I do, I said. And I remember promising to protect you. Her laugh tinkled. Brittle. You were my rock. Rock, I repeated. Till you let me sink. She stiffened. I pressed. The papers.
Mom.
I know you backdated them. And the bookie, Polaroids in my safe. Want to explain before I do? Her face strained, mask slipping to reveal the hag beneath. Jackie.
No, it was a mistake.
Desperation. I protected you, took the heat off by confessing partial. Partial? She'd pinned it all on me. Protected? I rotted while you played victim. We stopped at the tide line, waves lapping our ankles. She clutched my arm, nails digging.
Please.
Family. Blood. Blood, I spat. You spilled mine first. I pulled free, walking back alone. Her calls fading like echoes. That afternoon, Diaz reported Tommy sneaking lines in the restroom, Sarah flirting with a venture capitalist guest, angling for investment in Harlan hospitality. Mom, curled in the suite, popping Xanax like candy. Evening brought the luau, fire dancers twirling torches, Kahlua pork steaming on pits, a steel drum band pulsing under stars. They arrived dolled up, Sarah in a sundress that screamed alimony bait, Tommy in a Hawaiian shirt pilfered from Lost and Found, Mom in white linen, ethereal as a ghost. I emceed, mic in hand, toasting redemption arcs with a wink that landed like shrapnel. Midway, as flames leaped, I pulled Tommy aside. Heard your spinning tracks. Show me. He grinned.
Sloppy.
For real? Suite's got Bluetooth. Upstairs. Door locked. I played the demo. Garbage beats over auto-tune moans.
Not bad. I lied.
Then slid him a baggie. Sample this. Resort's new house blend. For staff. His eyes lit. He tooted a line off the nightstand. Oblivious it was laced with a laxative cocktail Diaz whipped up.
VIP, I said.
By midnight, he was glued to the throne, shitting his regrets. Sarah cornered me at the bar. Breath boozy. Mom's spiraling. This talk tomorrow?
Don't drag up the past.
She's fragile. Fragile. The woman who'd sold my soul for a blackjack streak. Fragile, I echoed. Like when she let me take the fall? Her eyes narrowed. Predator to predator. You think you're clean? That appeal? I buried the real evidence for your sake. Mom's prints?
Gone.
Be grateful. Grateful. The twist hit like a rogue wave. Sarah hadn't just enabled. She'd erased the proof that could have freed me sooner. For Mom? Or control? Gratitude's a one-way street, I said, clinking her glass. Watch your step. As the fire died to embers, Mom pulled me to the dance floor, body swaying close, whispering, I love you.
Jackie.
Always did. Her hands on my waist felt like chains. I spun her out, letting the crowd swallow her, then slipped away to the dock. Phone in hand, I texted Rico, my old cellmate, now a consultant for Tampa Cruise. Got a debtor. $50K. Paradise Point. Make it hurt, but leave receipts. Revenge wasn't fire, it was flood, rising slow till it drowned them all. Wednesday dawned with a hangover for the resort, guests nursing mimosas while my family nursed grudges. Tommy emerged mid-morning, pale and profane, blaming bad luau shrimp for his porcelain marathon. I comped his room service, Gatorade and Pepto, laced with electrolytes to keep him functional. Not functional enough to notice the shadows. Sarah power-walked the beach in athleisure, AirPods in, probably dictating depositions to her paralegal. Mom? She's sunbathed by the pool. Novel in lap, some Danielle steel potboiler about lost sons. But her eyes tracked me like a hawk spotting prey. I played host with venom, escorting VIPs to snorkel tours while eavesdropping on their chatter. The venture capitalist Sarah flirted with? Mark Ellison, hedge fund douche from Boca, sniffing around for distressed assets. Distressed like me.
Once.
By lunch, Ruiz's drone feed showed her lunching with him at the tiki bar, leaning in, laughing at his yacht jokes. Her hand brushing his like accidental lightning. Investment? Or just the Harlan family tradition of trading flesh for favors. Afternoon brought yoga on the lawn, guests downward dogging in Lululemon while I joined, Matt beside Mom's. She flowed like liquid guilt, whispering mid-warrior pose. Last night. I didn't mean to push. But Jack, that photo? Burn it. It's poison. Poison. Coming from the source. Poison's in the veins, I murmured, holding child's pose till my back screamed. Too late for antidotes.
Post-class.
I cornered Tommy in the gym, spotting his bench presses, 20-pounders. The kid's arms like wet noodles. Rehab treating you good? I asked, racking the bar with a clang. He wheezed, sitting up.
Yeah. Mun.
Clean 12 days. This place? Therapy gold.
Clean.
Bullshit. Diaz's cams caught him palming guest fentanyl patches from the med kit. Prove it, I said, tossing him a key fob. Stock the bar tonight. No samples. His shift started at 5. Manning the rum runners with a grin that faded fast when Ellison's party rolled in, Wall Street wolves in polos, demanding shots like feudal rights. Tommy poured heavy, pocketing skimmed cash in his apron. But I watched from the shadows, nodding approval till the first complaint, watered booze. Kids green, I covered, comping rounds. By close, he'd pocketed $50 and a business card from a broker, talent scout for events. Tommy Harlan, event planner, stripping or worse. That night, over conch ceviche in the private dining room, the deep dive began. I'd framed it as bonding, whiteboard, markers, mapping our future, but it was dissection. Sarah arrived first, laptop open, spreadsheets glowing. Numbers. Jack. What's the EBITDA? Expansion plans? Always the shark. Circling for chum. Mom and Tommy filtered in, plates clinking like handcuffs. We started light. Resort stats. My 5-year plan, sustainable glamping pods, eco tours. They nodded. Impressed, Sarah jotting notes. Tommy doodling bongs. Then I flipped the board. Family ledger. Columns for debts. Literal and figurative. Mom's eyes widened. Sarah's jaw set. What's this? She demanded. Balance sheet, I said, uncapping a marker. First entry. Jack's arrest, 3 years served. Cost youth. Career. Family. Tommy shifted, Mom whispered. Jackie. No. I wrote on. Mom's embezzlement, $250K.
Fall guy me.
Cover up. Sarah's firm buries docs. Sarah slammed her napkin. Slander. That's actionable. Actionable, I laughed. Like your testimony. Jack resented success. Success from stolen escrow. Tommy mumbled. Dude. Chill. But his eyes flicked to the door. Mom teared up. Masterful. I confessed.
Jack.
Partial immunity to shield you kids. It was mercy. Mercy? The word exploded. You let feds parade me as the villain while you cried on scene. Sarah shredded the server logs. I have the whistleblower affidavit from your IT guy. Bought with my settlement scraps. Her face blanched. Bluff. But close enough. The room crackled. Tension thick as storm air. Tommy bolted first, muttering bathroom. But Diaz's tap caught him speed dialing a dealer. Need to pick me up. Stat. Sarah rose. Voice ice. This is blackmail. Extortion. I could ruin you, zoning violations. Health code hits. Threats. The family dialect. Try it, I countered. My board's clean, yours? That affair with Hargrove?
Photos from his wife.
Courtesy of a PI who loves pro bono. She deflated. Sitting hard. Mom seized the gap. Enough. We're broken.
Jack.
I gambled our future. Your future away. But blood's thicker. Forgive. Or we're ghosts forever.
Ghosts.
The word hung, evoking Coleman nights. Shadows in bunks whispering of snitches and stabs. I capped the marker, bored a battlefield of ink. Ghosts don't pay rent. Tomorrow, we negotiate terms. Bungalows?
Fine.
But strings, repayments, amends. Or pack. They left fractured. Sarah storming to her suite. Tommy vanishing into the night. Diaz tailed him to a beach cabana. Scoring from a fishing boat. Mom trailing me to the veranda.
Pleading.
Jackie.
Please.
I see now your pain. Let me make it right. Her hand on mine. Trembling. I covered it. Gentle. You will.
Mom.
Starting with truth. The bookie. Full story. Recorded. She nodded. Broken doll. And spilled names. Dates. The Polaroid as collateral she'd burned copies of, but not the original. By midnight, her confessions streamed to my cloud.
Timestamped.
Rico's crew hit at 2 a.m. No knock. just shadows slipping through the hibiscus hedge. I watched from cams as two goons in tracksuits cornered Mom on her balcony. Low voices rumbling threats. 50K.
Grandma.
Or we repo more than your trailer. She whimpered. Offering jewelry, they laughed, pocketing her necklace. Then melted away with a warning. Tell the boy we said hi, Rico sends. Message received. Debts collect. And paradise was prime collateral. Morning brought fallout.
Mom.
Bruce died. Skipped breakfast. Sarah grilled me in the lobby. What the hell happened? She looks like death. Ghosts, I said, handing her coffee.
Tommy?
MIA till noon. Crashing waves with a hangover halo. The day dragged guests kayaking. Oblivious. While I met Ruiz in the mangroves. Escalate. Leak the confession to her old firm. Anonymously. By evening. The fractures spiderwebbed. Sarah's phone blew up, Hargrove's wife forwarding nudes. Bored whispers of ethics probes. Tommy's scout, ghosted after a background check flagged his priors. Mom confessed the shakedown to me alone. On the dock at sunset. They're coming back.
Jack.
Help me.
Help.
The echo of 8 years prior. I hugged her then.
Tight.
Her sobs soaking my shirt.
I lied.
But first, pay up. As she nodded. Desperate. I slipped a tracker in her purse. Next hit. I'd be spectator. Not savior. Revenge wasn't swift. It was the tide. Pulling them under one wave at a time. The luau's embers still smoldered when the second wave crashed. Thursday night. Crew returned. Boulder. Zip ties on wrists. Duct tape whispers. Mom's screams muffled. But Cam's caught the plea. Take the resort share. Jack's got equity. Betrayal. Fresh and bleeding. They roughed her. A slap blooming red. Then left with her debit card pin. Diaz intervened post facto. Rescuing her with ice packs and calls to local PD, my payroll cops. Filing a report that'd circle back to me. She crashed in my bungalow after. Shaking. Spilling more. The full tally 300K owed. Not 50. Layered debts from poker dens to loan sharks. I did it for you kids, she sobbed. College funds. Houses gone to slots. For us? The lie cracked me open. Rage mingling with pity's rot. I held her, rocking like she had me as a boy. Then dosed her chamomile laced with Ambien. Sleep.
Mom.
Tomorrow. We end it. Dawn patrol. Sarah confronted. Wild-eyed. This place is a trap. Mom's terrified. Those men? Connected?
Connected. To me?
Via Rico's nod. Protect yourself, I advised. Divorce filings public. Leverage it for a cut. Her slap stung. But the calculation in her eyes? Priceless.
Tommy.
Overhearing. Bolted. Diaz lost him in the Keys traffic. But not before he pawned Mom's stolen rings at a marathon dive. Negotiation round 2. The boardroom. My office, overlooking the sea. Terms. Mom deeds over her Sarasota condo, modest. But liquid. Sarah waives alimony claims on Ellison, tracked via her phone. Tommy enrolls in my staff program. 6 months labor for room and board. No pay. Sign or sink. They balked, Sarah lawyering loopholes. Tommy whining relapse. Mom weeping appeal. Family first, she begged. Family died in 17, I said. Sliding pens. Sign. Or Rico gets the originals. Polaroid. Confession.
All.
Bluffs layered like phyllo. But they crumbled. Ink dried. Deeds transferred via e-notary. Victory tasted like bile, sweet,
Sour.
the afterburn of ash. But as they filed out, Sarah paused. You're no better.
Jack.
This, cruelty dressed as justice.
Cruelty.
The mirror cracked. That night, alone with the waves, I wondered, was I avenging or becoming her? Friday fractured like fault lines under pressure. The resort humming with weekend arrivals, while my blood boiled with borrowed time. Guests flooded in, yacht couples from Miami, influencers chasing sunsets for reels, turning paradise into a glittering facade over the grave I'd dug. Mom holed up in the suite, popping pills like communion wafers, her mercy confession echoing in my skull. Sarah paced the beach, phone glued to ear, bartering with Ellison. It's a steal, Jack's desperate for partners. Desperate? She'd twisted my investment pitch into desperation bait, angling for equity slices.
Tommy?
He ghosted till noon, surfacing at the pool bar with salt-crusted hair and dilated pupils, charming a bachelorette party into free shots. Boss man, he slurred, clapping my back. This gig? Lit. Lit. Till Diaz's report, he'd skimmed 100 from the till, fencing it for H off a snorkel captain. I let it slide, rope, not reins, assigning him kayak duty, strapping vests tight enough to chafe. The shakedown's echo lingered. Mom's bruises bloomed purple under concealer, drawing pity glances from staff. I played concerned son, icing her ribs in the med spa, whispering, deeds filed. Safe now. Safe. The word mocked as Rico texted, debts climbing, interest. Want us to collect creative? Creative, knees, not slaps. I replied, hold. One more play. Afternoon's storm rolled in, thunderheads bruising the sky, rain sheeting the palms like tears. I herded guests indoors, board games in the lounge, spa treatments on my dime, while corralling family for intervention hour in the library. Bookshelves groaned with Hemingway and Kerouac, American ghosts judging our farce. Sarah arrived armed with legalese printouts, contesting the deeds, coercion voids contracts.
Jack.
One call to my firm. Your firm? I snatched the pages, shredding them into confetti. The one that buried my exoneration? Hargrove's already lawyered up. Your nudes hit his inbox this morning. Courtesy of wifey. Her gasp was genuine. Fury flashing. You bastard. That's low. Even for you. Low, I echoed, circling the table like a prosecutor. Like coaching mom's testimony. Jack's unstable, direct quote. Tommy slouched in, dripping rain, oblivious. What's the beef now? Mom entered last, swaddled in a robe, eyes hollow. Can't we just
Be.
The impossibility hung heavy. I projected the ledger update. Transfers pending. But red ink everywhere. Mom's debts ballooned to $80K with fees. Sarah's affair scandal trending on local Substack. Tommy's priors resurfacing in a dealer bust up north. Options, I said, clicking slides. Pay up full. Or work it off. Mom, front desk greeter. Sarah, legal counsel for me. Tommy, maintenance grunt. Laughter barked Sarah's.
Sharp.
You? Counsel? I'd sooner represent Rico's goons. Tommy whined. Bro, kayaks are cool. But scrubbing toilets?
Nah.
Mom's voice cracked. Jackie, this isn't you. The boy who fixed my bike. Who? Who signed your fraud? I slammed the laptop. That boy died in Coleman.
Mom.
You killed him. Silence swallowed the room, rain lashing windows like applause. Then Sarah's pivot. Cold calculus. Fine. Counsel pro bono, 6 months. But equity stake, 10%. And no more leaks. Deal struck. Shark to shark. Tommy caved next. Mumbling agreement for dude perks, free boards. No questions. Mom? She signed last. Pen trembling. Whispering. For love.
Love.
The chain that bound and broke. Storm broke by dusk. Sky clearing to bruised purple. Stars pricking through like accusations. I escaped to the lighthouse, resort's crown. A restored beacon with 360 views, and nursed a bourbon. Replaying the ledger. Victory? Or Pyrrhic pile? Phone buzzed. Ellison's offer. Via Sarah's forward. 8 mil for 40% stake. Strategic partnership. Sellout disguised as salvation. I deleted. Texting Ruiz. Burn it. And tip the Substack. Sarah's full bio. Night fell heavy. Luau skipped for family night. Movie in the amphitheater. Jaws on the big screen. Irony thick as chum. Guests picnicked nearby. But we sat isolated. Popcorn untouched. Mom leaned on me. Head on shoulder. Murmuring apologies that dissolved in the surf sound. Sarah texted furiously. Damage control on the leak. Hargrove's cease and desist bouncing back undelivered. Tommy dozed. Snoring through the shark maulings. Mid-film. The goons returned, third strike. Bold as brass. Slipping past Diaz's perimeter, sloppy. Or staged. They breached the sweet wing. Masks up. Zip ties clicking. Cams caught the frenzy. Mom waking to shadows. Scream cut short. Sarah barricading the bathroom. Phone dead from storm surge. Tommy. Useless. Curling fetal. Where's the boy? Growls demanded. He owes collateral. They trashed drawers. Pocketing laptops. Then zip-tied Mom to the bedpost. Lesson in pain. Fists glancing ribs. Diaz's team hit then. Tasers popping. Grunts tumbling into mangroves. Intruders, the report read. Clean as a script. I arrived post-melee. Robe over PJs. Feigning shock. Mom untied. Sobbing into my chest, Sarah shell-shocked. Dialing 911, my dispatcher. Tommy? Hid under the bed. Emerging whimpering. Cops en route, I soothed. But the ambulance came first. Mom's ribs cracked. Contusions mapping her torso like a betrayal atlas. RN Marathon was a fluorescent purgatory. Beeping monitors and bleach stink. Ducks poked. Prescribed opioids. Mom gripped my hand. They said. Your name.
Jack.
Rico.
How?
The question pierced. Old prison ties. I half-lied. I'll handle. Sarah. In the hall. Cornered me. This ends now. We sell. Ellison's check clears debts. Starts fresh.
Sell.
Her solution. Always liquidation. Back at Paradise by 4 a.m. Dawn gilding the wreckage, sweets tossed. Guests roused but comped silent with mimosas. I convened crisis. Family in my office. The coffee steaming like tempers. Enough, Mom rasped. Bandaged. I confess, all. To feds.
Cops.
Whoever. Free us.
Confess.
The nuclear option. Dragging us all under. Sarah nodded. Fierce. Amnesty deal. I negotiate. Tommy. Quiet for once. I'm out. Rehab for real.
Out.
The word tempted, but I saw the flip, Mom's mercy, morphing to mutual destruction. Sarah lawyering her way to hero. Tommy vanishing clean.
No.
Confess, I said. But terms hold. Work the debt here. Paradise is ours, blood-bought. They agreed. Exhausted. But eyes gleamed with schemes. As they limped to bungalows, I called Rico. Pull back. Place shifting. His laugh crackled. Your mom's a gold mine.
Harlan.
But all right for old times. Old times, him slipping me commissary. Me covering his tats from guards. Debt between debts. Saturdays surged with check-ins. Guests oblivious to the undercurrent. I manned the desk, smiling through gritted teeth, while Mom shadowed, greeter in a wheelchair. Welcome, scripted shaky. Sarah holed up in a cabana office, drafting partnership memos that reeked of sabotage. Tommy mopped decks, cursing under breath, but Diaz caught him texting dealers. Paradise score, easy marks. By noon, the twist uncoiled. Ellison arrived unannounced. Chopper whirring overhead, Sarah at his side like a consort. Jack, he boomed, handshake crushing. Heard the drama, security breach, buyouts on table. Double if we close today. Double, 16 mil. Life-changing. Sarah's eyes begged, take it. End this. Mom wheeled up. Pale. Jackie. Listen, but I waved her off. Mind racing. Sell. And freedom, debts dissolved. Family scattered. Hold. And war eternal. Tour first, I said, leading them through bungalows.
Pool.
The heart of my vengeance. As waves crashed below, I saw it, the photo album. Unburned pages. Dad's scrawl in the margin. Harlan stick. Or sink together.
Sink.
Or swim in blood. The chopper's echo faded into the surf's roar, but Ellison's offer lingered like exhaust fumes, tempting, toxic. The kind of deal that promises wings, but delivers chains. I stalled him with a thinker's tour, parading the resort's guts, solar farm humming green lies. Spa steam thick with eucalyptus and evasion. Sarah shadowed, her smile a scalpel, whispering asides to him. Jack's visionary, but conservative, painting me as the roadblock to her glory. Mom trailed in her chair, pushed by Tommy, who moped like a chained dog, stealing glances at bachelorette bikinis. Ellison lapped it up, cigar-chomping approval. Prime real estate. Harlan. Post-Irma bounce-back gold. 16 mils generous, flip it to condos. We'd print money. Condos. The word curdled, paradise gutted for McMansions. My revenge raised for retirees' RV pads. Generous, I echoed, forcing a nod. Numbers crunch tonight. Join for sunset drinks. He clapped my shoulder, vice grip sealed, as he chopper it out. Sarah lingered, eyes feral. Take it, Jack. Mom's medical scans tomorrow. Could be bad. We need liquidity.
Bad.
Her pivot from venom to velvet, leveraging fragility. Scans, I said. Flat. Convenient timing. Tommy snorted, shoving Mom's chair harder than needed. All bullshit. She's fine, just milking sympathy. Mom gasped, slapping his arm. He yanked away, storming to the maintenance shed. Family, fracturing live. I wheeled her to the veranda, waves mocking our mess.
Truth, Mom.
The ribs real? She deflated. Gaze seaward. Cracked.
Yes. But.
Exaggerated. For leverage. Leverage. The Harlan Creed. Like the confession? Partial truths to shield sins. Her tears came hot. Real this time. I shielded you, Jackie. From Dad's mess. He wasn't just gone. He was running debts. Same as me. I took the fall young. So you wouldn't.
Fall.
Layers peeling. Revealing rot older than 17. Dad's debts? You said abandonment. She nodded. Broken. He gambled too. Left us $20K in hock. I paid with real estate loans. You're signing? Echo of his. Echo. The cycle. Spinning me into the wheel. Rage surged. But pity choked at her. Victim turned villain. Or both. Afternoon blurred. Guests snorkeling, reefs teeming with betrayal stingrays. Me in the office. Spreadsheets bleeding red. 16 mil would clear everything. Rico's cut. Ruiz's fees. The wrongful suit's ghost. But sell. And what? Back to line cook. Empire evaporated? No, paradise was my scar. Proof I'd risen from their ashes. I texted Diaz. Allison sweet, bug it. Sarah too. Sunset drinks on the dock. Tiki torches flickering like warnings. Conch shells echoing laughter from afar. Ellison arrived with cronies, suits slumming in linen. Toasting synergies. Sarah preened, arm looped in his. Her laugh allure. Mom joined, bandaged but beaming. Charming with tales of old Florida, embellished. No doubt. Tommy slung drinks. Heavy pours earning tips and side eyes. Conversation veered business. Ellison's vision. Golf course. Helipad. Harlan Harbor branding. Your name lives on, he grinned.
Lives on.
As chum in his tank. Sarah chimed. Jack's attached sentimental. But smart move. Right?
Attached. My cue.
I raised my glass. To attachments. And cutting them clean. The pivot hit post-toast. Diaz's earpiece crackled. Sarah in Ellison's ear. Jack's cracking. Family drama.
Push the price down.
Close fast. Traitor. Flipping for her slice. I excused to check kitchens, cornering her in the shadows. Whoring for equity. Classy. Sis. She whirled. Wine slurred. Survival. Jack. Mom's dying real. Liver from years of gin and guilt. You think this empire fixes that?
Dying.
The bomb dropped casual. Detonating doubt. Proof. She shoved her phone. MRI prelims. Shadows on lobes. Oncologist note. Stage 3. Aggressive. Real? Or forged? Like the rest? I staggered back. Winded. Why not say? You'd weaponize it, she spat. Like everything. Weaponize. The accusation stuck.
Barbed.
Tommy interrupted. Sloshing tray. Boss, Ellison wants you. I nodded numb. Rejoining the circle. Mom caught my eye. Pleading silent. Take the deal. Save us. Night deepened. Party thinning to embers. Ellison pressed. Papers ready? Wire transfers dawn.
Dawn.
Judgment hour. I hedged. One condition. Family opt out. No Harlan on the sign. He laughed. Done. Fresh start.
Fresh.
The lie tempted. Midnight. Alone on the beach. I burned another photo. Dad's. Grinning pre-flight to nowhere. Ashes scattered. I called Rico. Debt's mine now. Full pay. 100K. But one favor, scare Ellison off. His chuckle. Twist. For 20% VIG. VIG. Always the cut.
Deal.
The scare hit at 2 a.m. Goons in ski masks. Zip lining from the bluffs. Diaz's theatrics. Trashing Ellison's suite. Laptop smashed. Threats scrawled. Back off. Or beachfront berry. He bolted pre-dawn. Chopper fleeing like a scalded cat. Sarah chasing. Wait, the deal. No deal. Just dust. She found me at breakfast. Feral. You sabotaged it. Mom's treatment gone.
Treatment.
I slid the MRI across. Photoshopped. Watermark from your firm's intern. Her bluff called. Face crumpling. For us, Mom needs. Mom needs jail. I cut. Confess full. Or I leak everything, your affair. The cover-up. The deeds. Tommy overheard. Dropping plates. Fuck this. I'm out. He grabbed a kayak. Paddling into the mist. Diaz trailing discreet. Mom wheeled and then. Scans in lap. Real ones. Handed by a nurse guest. Stage 2, she whispered. Treatable. But Jack. Forgive? Before it's late.
Late.
The word hollowed me. I nodded. Throat tight. Confess first. Her affidavit drafted by noon. Full embezzlement. My framing. Sarah's sabotage. Signed. Notarized. Emailed to feds anonymously. Sarah raged. Ruined us. Ruined. The chorus. As sirens wailed distant, cops for the break-in, feds inbound, I watched from the lighthouse. Empire intact. Family aflame. Forgiveness? A mirage in the salt haze. But as Tommy's kayak vanished horizon-bound, a crack formed. Was I avenger? Or architect of the same cage? Evening brought the raid, feds and windbreakers swarming the drive. Badges flashing like knives. Mom surrendered quiet. Cuffs gentle on bandaged wrists, Sarah lawyered up on sight. Demanding Miranda, Tommy? Long gone. Paddle strokes to freedom or folly. I watched from afar. Diaz at my side. Clean hands?
Clean.
The lie we tell survivors. As taillights faded, guests buzzed oblivious. I poured bourbon neat. Toasting ghosts. Paradise endured. But the cost? A hollow heart. Echoing with what-ifs. The raid's dust settled like fallout. Paradise Point, a crime scene wrapped in vacation veneer. Yellow tape fluttering at the sweet wing. Guests herded to brunch with complimentary spa days as hush money. Feds grilled staff in the lounge. A coffee going cold under fluorescent stares. While I played the shocked proprietor. Intruders. Family targeted? Horrifying. Lies layered thick. My poker face honed in Coleman's yard games. Sarah lawyered from lockup. Her firm circling wagons. Hargrove himself flying down. Face thunderous. Demanding my statement. Cooperation, he barked over speaker. Or obstruction charges. Obstruction. Their playbook. I smiled into the phone. Full access. But my counsel reviews. My counsel? A Key West solo who'd cut teeth on cartel busts. Billing hours like grudges. Mom's processing was quiet theater, transported to Tampa Fed holding. Affidavit sparking pleas for leniency. Cancer. Your honor. Mercy for the misguided. Cancer. The wild card. Buying sympathy spins in the press. Dying mom frames son for fraud. Twisted tale from the keys. Tabloids ate it. My name dragged anew. Vengeful resort mogul or victim? Tommy surfaced by evening, hauled in from a Isla Morada motel. High and howling innocence. I paddled for smokes. Man. Fed squeezed. But he cracked zip, loyalty's last gasp. Or fear of deeper dives. Released on my bail, strings pulled via Ruiz. He crashed my bungalow. Twitchy. Bro. This place cursed. Mom's toast. Sarah's disbarred whispers.
What now? Now.
The question gnawed as night fell. Waves gnashing like teeth. I poured us rums. Straight. The burn mapping fractures.
Now?
You work. Real. No schemes. He nodded. Hollow. For mom? For mom. The chain. Unbreakable. Sundays surged with cancellations, Ellison's blackball rippling. Bookings dipping 20%. I spun PR, security enhanced, safer than ever. Influencers posted anyway. Filters hiding the tape. But revenue bled. A slow hemorrhage. Ruiz called. Feds circling your wires. Rico's name popped. Clean?
Cleanish.
I scrubbed logs. Paid off a tech in the bureau. Petty cash for paradise. Sarah's arraignment Monday was circus. Paparazzi swarming the courthouse. Her in Chanel armor. Pleading not guilty to accessory. Mom's followed. Wheelchair-bound. Tears for cameras. I failed them all.
Failed.
The understatement of empires. Back at the resort. Operations ground grim. Tommy mopping decks with half-assed vigor. Dodging Diaz's glares. I buried in books. Projections grim. 6 months to black without a miracle. Then the miracle landed. A documentary scout from Netflix. Sniffing real-life Wolf of Wall Street with a beach twist. Pitch meeting in the library. Her eyes lighting. Your story, Betrayal.
Comeback.
Family implosion. Emmy bait. Emmy. The word dangled. Validation laced with venom. On one condition, I said. No holds barred, full ugly. She grinned. Ugly cells. Crew arrived Tuesday. Mike's hot. Filming day in the life. Me greeting guests with gritted smiles. Tommy hauling trash, scripted redemption. Empty suites as haunted motifs. Filming unearthed ghosts. Crew found the unburned album in storage. Dad's photo prompting my ramble, abandonment's ache. Mom's shield a sword. Airing raw. It humanized. But twisted. Viewers pitted ruthless son versus tragic matriarch. Comments flooded. Jack's a monster. Milking cancer versus Mom deserved worse. Karma's a bitch. Sarah's trial prep bled into mine. Her visits to paradise. Supervised. Eyes hollowed by depositions. They're painting me as Lady Macbeth, she confessed over coffee. Voice cracking.
But you?
The avenging angel with devil horns. Angel.
Devil.
The divide deepened. Her hand brushing mine. We could have partnered real. Before this. Before. The road not taken. Paved with what-ifs. Before you buried the logs, I said. She flinched. To protect Mom. Us.
Us.
The phantom family. Mom's chemo started midweek. Infusions in Tampa Fed Clinic. Escorted by marshals. I visited once. Sterile room stinking of regret. Her bald head wrapped in silk. Jackie, she rasped. For dripping slow poison. The doc says. Remission possible. If I fight.
Fight.
Her life's refrain, fight dirty. Win ugly. Fight clean now, I said, squeezing her hand. Testify true, at Sarah's trial. She nodded. Tears tracking, for you.
For me.
Or survival script. Ruiz's tap caught her post-visit call to a cellmate lawyer. Plea angle, duress from Jack.
Duress.
The flip, eternal. Tommy's arc bent under cameras, reformed bad boy montage. Him surfing dawn swells. Confessing sins to the lens dealing.
Dodging.
But off mic. He cornered me. This doc?
Bullshit therapy.
I need out real job. Callie maybe.
Callie.
Escape siren.
Earn it, I said.
6 months. Month 2 post-raid. Tides turned treacherous. Rico resurfaced. Uninvited. Yacht docking at dusk. Him in Hawaiian silk. Gold chains glinting. Harlan, he boomed. Cigar lit. Debt cleared. But favors due.
Favor.
The Shank's edge. Name it. Your sis, Sarah. My crew's out $10K from her firm's pyramid scam. Collect. Or I do.
Pyramid.
Sarah's side hustle. Laundering alimony through investments. On it, I lied. Gut churning. That night, I confronted her in the cabana. Rico's gunning.
Spill.
She crumbled. It was for Mom's meds pre-raid. Harmless. Harmless. Like my frame. Decision loomed. Controversial as a loaded chamber. Turn her over. End the cycle? Or shield? Become the monster? I chose gray. Tipped anonymous to feds. Her scam folded into the case. Plea sweetened. She raged via lawyer. Betrayal.
Jack.
Blood for blood.
Blood.
The currency. As her sentencing neared, 5 years. Suspended 2 for cooperation. Mom's remission news hit. Clear scans. Miracle spun in headlines. Forgiven by fate? Pundits debated. My inbox flaming. Hero or hypocrite? Tommy bailed week 6. Surfboard under arm. Hitchhiking to Miami. Can't breathe here.
Bro.
Tell Mom. Sorry.
Gun.
Ripple free. The doc wrapped filming. Editors promising nuanced. Code for divisive. Premiere loomed. My face on billboards. Paradise lost. A family's reckoning. Month 3. Revenue rebounded. Doc buzz booking solids. Experience the drama. Packages selling like sin. But solitude stung. Bungalows full. Mine empty. I dated a bartender from Key West. Fiery redhead named Lena. Her laugh chasing shadows. Heavy past, she said one night. Tracing my scars. Heavy present? Present. The wait. Then the call, Mom. Paroled early for health. Voice frail. Jackie?
Can I?
Come home?
Paradise.
Home. The hook. Sunk deep. Sarah. From halfway house. Don't. She's poison.
Poison.
But blood whispered otherwise. I wired yes. Prepping the orchid suite, fresh linens. No trackers. As her cab crunched gravel, I stood on the veranda. Heart hammering. Forgiveness? Or final act? She emerged. Frail in sundress. Hugging tight. My boy. My boy. The prodigal's return. Or serpent slither. Mom's return was a slow poison. Seeping into Paradise's veins like humidity after rain. Subtle at first. Then suffocating. She settled into the orchid suite with the deference of a guest. Not conqueror, unpacking linens from Sarasota. Hanging faded photos, mine burned. Hers salvaged. Murmuring thanks over herbal teas, I brewed myself. Jackie.
This.
It's heaven, she'd say, eyes tracing waves from the balcony. But the gratitude rang hollow, laced with that old entitlement, the subtle shift from supplicant to squatter. Staff whispered, Diaz eyeing her warily. Maids fluffing pillows with extra starch. Guests adored her. Charming hostess as she wove baskets in the lobby, spinning yarns of old Keys lore, half stolen from tour books. Revenue ticked up, her welcome chats upselling spa packages. Her frail smile the hook. But I watched. Wary, the ledger balanced. But trust? Bankrupt. Sarah's halfway house stints were weekly visitations, supervised by a board counselor who scrolled TikTok during our family sessions. She'd arrive in scrubs from her court-mandated clerk gig, eyes sharp despite the humiliation. This setup, she'd hiss post-session. Mom's your trophy? Pathetic. Trophy. Or Trojan horse. Better than your pyramid, I'd counter. And she'd flinch, the scam's shadow lingering in her probation file. Tommy's absence echoed loudest, postcards from Venice Beach. Killin' at DJing, but Ruiz's check showed busking for beer money. Crashing with ex-cons. One call. Slurred. Missed the conch.
Bro.
But freedom? Gold. Freedom. The luxury I hoarded. Or hoarded me. Doc premiered Midsummer. Red carpet in Miami, me in tux. Lena on arm. Flashes blinding like interrogations. Critics raved. Gripping. Morally murky. Harlan's no hero. But who is? Viewers split. Twitter wars. Team Mom, Cancer Card wins versus Jack's Justice Porn deserved. Ratings soared. Netflix greenlighting Season 2. Empire's End?
End.
The word haunted as Mom's health rallied, chemo scars fading, energy blooming. She volunteered at the Eco Garden, planting mangroves with kids, her laugh carrying on salt winds. Redemption, she called it. But Diaz caught her pocketing tips from donor checks, old habits. Skeletal. I confronted soft. Mom. Boundaries. Her tears instant. Jackie. Force of habit. For us.
Us.
The vortex. Lena saw through, over sunset sails. Her head on my shoulder. She's using you again. Walk away.
Walk.
But roots ran deep, tangled in Gulf currents. Blood, I murmured. She kissed my temple. Blood washes off.
Off.
The dream. Twist brewed in August heat. Humidity thick as plots. Ruiz's dossier dropped. Mom's parole officer. Bribed with gifts, resort stays. Off books. Leverage, he warned. Leverage. Her play? Blackmail me into silence. Or worse, frame another fall? I tailed her myself, one market run in marathon. Watching her slip into a dive bar. Emerging with a burner phone. Voice low to shadows. Harlan soft now. Access inside. 20K. Shadows. Rico's crew? Or new sharks? Heart pounding. I confronted that night. Dinner on the veranda, grilled snapper. Wine decanted like confessions.
Mom.
The bar.
Who?
She paled. Fork clattering. Jackie. No. Old friend. Meds discount.
Lie.
Thin as smoke. I played the recording, burner chatter. Her haggling, resort intel for debt relief. Her collapse was operatic, sobs racking. Hands clawing mine. Desperate, cancer bills piled. Thought. Small con. Harmless. Harmless. The refrain. You never learn, I said. Voice steel.
Out.
Tomorrow. She begged. Knees to tile. Please. Family. I changed.
Changed.
The plea that jailed me. Sarah. Visiting next day. Sided fierce. Kick her. Cycle ends. But eyes betrayed guilt. Or greed. Tommy called mid-fight. Heard, don't.
Bro.
She's all we got.
All.
The lie binding us. I relented. Partial. Probation, tracked. Employed here. One slip. Gone. She nodded. Grateful ghost. But the seed sprouted doubt. Was mercy mine? Or manipulation's mask? Fall brought storms, literal. Lashing palms. Metaphorical brewing in bored whispers. Doc Season 2 filming rant. Confessionals with Mom, I was broken. Sarah, betrayal's double-edged. Me, vengeance? Hollow. Ratings predicted peaks. But leaks hit. Crew footage of Mom's bar meet. Twisted to Jack's enabling abuser. Abuser. The flip.
Public.
Stock in Harlan Hospitality, my LLC. Post-buyout dodge, dipped. Ellison resurfaced. Vulture circling. Buy low, 10 mil now.
Low.
The bargain of broken. Lena bailed week after. Can't watch you drown. Jack.
Drown.
Alone. I stormed the beach. Waves clawing ankles. Screaming into gale. Enough. Dawn cleared air. Resolve hardening. Final play. I summon them, Mom. Sarah on furlough. Tommy wired in from Cali. Summit. I called it. Library lit dim. Ledger final. Debts paid. But soul scarred. Truth serum. I said. Sliding affidavits. Sign. Full release. No claims. Or I walk, resort. All. Mom signed first. Pen steady. Love you. Jackie.
Love.
Sarah hesitated. Eyes warring. This absolves you too, the sabotage.
Absolves.
Signed. Tommy's digital scrawl. Peace. Man.
Peace.
The word foreign. As they left, Mom to her suite. Sarah to probation. Tommy to ghosts, I torched the ledger. Flames devouring ink sins. Paradise breathed free. But me, chained to echoes. Winter whispered endings. Mom's full pardon. Cancer conquered. Her memoir deal with a pod publisher. Sarah's disbarment lifted. New firm in Boca. Ethics reborn. Tommy's tracks hit Spotify niche. But streaming.
Me?
Expansion north. New site in the panhandle. Lena's ghost in every blueprint. But the call came Christmas Eve, Mom. Voice bright. Jackie. Surprise, Tommy's here. Sarah too. Dinner? Like old times. Old times. The trap. Sprung soft. I drove through rain-slicked keys. Heart lead. Sweet aglow. Table set. Turkeys steaming. Lights twinkling false cheer. Hugs exchanged. Tommy's bearish. Sarah's crisp. Mom's lingering. Family, she toasted.
Family.
Dinner flowed. Stories spun, redemptions, omissions. Then Sarah's drop. Jack. The doc. We optioned rights. Group deal millions.
Milio.
Their cut. My face. Rage flickered. But Mom's hand stayed it. Share.
Jackie.
Blood.
Blood.
The decision. Sign. Dissolve in gold? Or burn? Alone in ash? Christmas dinner stretched like a taut wire. The sweets air thick with rosemary and resentment. Silverware clinking like countdowns. Mom presided. Radiant in remission's glow. White sweater. Pearls rest-strung. Doling slices with maternal precision. To us, she toasted again. Glass raised. Eyes locking mine. Plea or plot. Tommy shoveled stuffing. Rambling Callie beats. Sarah dissected the deal. Lawyer fresh. 50-50 split, your brand. Our stories. Netflix pays premium for the reunion arc. Reunion. The words soured the wine.
Tart on tongue.
My brand, scar tissue spun to spectacle. Our stories, I echoed. Fork-piercing turkey like truth. Mine's the frame job. Yours, the getaway. Sarah's smile tightened. Water under. Bridge burned. I cut. Mom interjected soft. Jackie. Holiday grace. We've paid.
Paid.
3 years for me. 5 suspended for her. Tommy stints. Sarah's fall.
Grace.
The luxury of the forgiven. Dessert brought pie, key lime. Tart as confessions and the contracts. Slid across cloth by Sarah. Sign here. Legacy secured. Legacy. Paradise franchised. My vengeance varnished for views. Tommy leaned in. Dude.
Million?
I'm producing Harlan Sound. Producing. From busker to baron. I scanned pages. Legalese blurring. Non-competes. Story rights eternal. Buried clause. Mom's consultant role. Veto on negative portrayals. Control.
Creeping.
One edit. I said. Pen hovering. Full truth. No mercy edits. Mom's eyes widened. Jackie. But the cancer, too raw.
Raw.
Like Coleman's bunks. Debate ignited. Sarah arguing market. Tommy neutrality. Mom tears. Family first, she whispered. First. The creed that caged me. Pen scratched denial. Papers pushed back. No deal. Silence crashed. Heavier than waves. Sarah rose. Venomous. Stubborn. Like Dad. Dad. The ghost invoked. Table tilting. Mom gasped. Don't. But Tommy piled. He bailed cause of her. Debts. Drama. Her. Mom's mask cracked. Lies. He left for a woman. Vegas tramp. Truth serum spilled then. Dam breaking. Mom's admission. Dad's abandonment staged. Her affair the spark. Debts fabricated to bind him. I kept you from that pain, she sobbed.
Pain.
Redirected to me. 8 years later. Rage crested. Chair scraping. You poisoned everything. Out the door. Rain lashing. Driving blind to the dock. Phone exploded. Texts. Voicemails. Come back. Think of the money. I love you. Love. The lie's last stand. Dawn broke gray. Resort stirring slow. Guests nursing hangovers. Staff stringing lights. I hold in the lighthouse. Bourbon bottles sentinel. Replaying the ledger's end. Debts cleared. But devils danced. Rico called. Laughing. Heard the blow-up. Want? Clean up? Clean up. Final frame.
No.
The choice crystallized. Burn it all. Or build beyond. I called Lena, voicemail. But words poured. Missed you. Fresh start. Then the summit. Family reconvened. Library stark. No doc, I declared. No deal. But equity real. 25% each. Vested over years. Work it, Mom. Gardens, Sarah. Legal, Tommy. Entertainment. Or walk. No strings. Walk. Freedom's fork. They stared, calculating. Sarah first. Vested? Controlled. Earned. Tommy grinned. Beats busking.
Mom.
Last. For us?
Us.
The word. Reclaimed. Nods rippled. Agreement sketched. Handshake sealed. Equity divided. Not dollars but dominion. Paradise endured. Family folded in not as foes, but facets. Months blurred to spring. Mom's mangroves thriving. Her welcome genuine. Sarah's contracts ironclad. Affair a scar. Tommy's sets pulsing luau nights. Sober 6 months. Lena returned. Sales shared. Her hand in mine. Not bad.
Harlan.
But the twist lingered. Unspoken. Ruiz's final drop, a letter from Dad. Postmarked Nevada. Dated pre-arrest. Son. If she spins the yarn, truths, I left debts. But she multiplied 'em. Protect yourself. Multiplied. Mom's empire of lies. Confrontation came gentle. Over brunch. Letter slid across plates. Her face ashen. Jackie. I knew. The final hook. She confessed full. Dad's flight real. But her escalation, framing him minor. Then me major. Cycles of control. Fear, she wept. Of alone. Alone. The root rot. Decision divided. Evict. Expose. Or integrate. The gray grace? I chose controversy. Kept her. But conditioned. Therapy group. Public amends in the dock. Cancelled. But memoir true. Sarah fumed. Enabling. Tommy shrugged. Real. Readers, post-memoir split. Forgiving monster or weak avenger? Summer peaked. Resort record bookings. Family facade functional. But nights on the dock. Waves whispering doubts. Right or wrong. No absolutes. Just tides turning. Ending? No tidy bow. Mom's garden bloomed. Sarah's firm grew. Tommy toured. Lena planned rings. Me, king of ashes. Building on bones. Revenge? Tasted victory. Soured to vigilance. As hurricanes loomed, I stood veranda. Family silhouettes behind. Fractured.
But fused.
Blood binds. Or bleeds. Debate eternal. Paradise? Ours. Contested coast. And in the salt wind. A whisper. Forgive. Or forever fight.